In the red corner, the paraplegic policeman whose bravery puts honey badgers to shame.
Look out, Brian!
In the blue corner, the neighborhood's resident evil pervert and capable pilot.
Say you like eating red carpet!
I like eating red carpet!
Giggity.
And in the yellow corner, the mild-mannered deli owner.
What the hell? No, 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 no!
Today, we aren't just looking at Peter Griffin's friends, we're looking at his neighbors. It's a triple threat match to decide which of these misfits fits the title of Best Neighbor overall. So here's how we'll be scoring the points. If the neighbors show simple kindness to Peter, they get 1 point. If they lend their help to Peter or his family members, they get 2 points. And if they save Peter or his family from a truly life-threatening or difficult spot, they get 3. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows, because even if these guys score a lot of points, they gotta watch out for any acts that endanger Peter or his family in marriage, because each of those actions will deduct 1 point from their precious scores. So with our scoring system set, let the battle royal begin. The first of our goodly neighbors makes his appearance after Peter injures his company's star baseball player right before an annual tournament.
Somebody call 911.
With no one else to turn to, he sets his desperate sights on his brand new neighbor, who is rumored to have been a baseball champion in his high school days.
I kind of thought you didn't like me.
No. See, I have that disease where stuff just pops out of your mouth. You go to hell! Whoop! See what I mean?
I thought maybe I crossed the line when I asked to borrow a screwdriver.
Yeah. Are you kidding? You can borrow whatever you want.
You hear that? That's the sound of a shameless man who's shameless enough to beg Joe for help, even though he refused to lend him a screwdriver earlier in the day. Lucky for Peter, Joe is kind enough to attend the company's match.
Please don't hit it to Joe. Please don't hit it to Joe.
Of course, Joe isn't all about the ball. He proves himself just as capable of being the other end of the pitcher.
Run! All right, Joe, come on! Let's hear it for Joe!
Right from the get-go, Joe acts like a hero for getting his disability and showing everyone who's boss. Unfortunately, instead of being happy that he saved his company's face, Peter ends up jealous of Joe's glory and decides to become a hero by himself. And how does he do that? By attempting to stop an armed robbery.
Whoa, hang on. No one can leave. And the whole reason I saved you guys today was so I could be a hero.
And what, you're too much of a bigot to admit that disabled people can be badass too?
Well, I robbed banks because a deaf man stole my job at the phone company. So if anyone's gonna bust me, I'm glad it's you.
It's Peter, he's in trouble.
A failed robbery at Quahog Bank and Trust has led to a terrifying hostage situation.
I gotta go.
I know.
Well, all Peter did was give Joe another chance to shine on the stage. Let's see if he can pull off another successful performance.
And even though society has turned its back on you, there are people who care. And you know what? I'm one of them.
Maybe he's right. We can make a new start. Wait, you can't leave now. I'm supposed to be the hero here.
Oh wow, he actually did. Just what is off limits for this man? Well, we'll find that one out later, because Quagmire wants you to know he knows a thing or two about life-saving as well. So in the episode Death Lives, Peter learns from Death that his marriage is soon going to be ruined, so he asks Death to take him back in time in exchange for setting him up with a girl. Death agrees and takes Peter back to a time when he was still trying to woo Lois in front of her dad.
Peter Griffin.
It's a pleasure, Peter. My daughter is quite taken with you.
And I'm taken with her.
So far, so good.
I'm gonna go get my purse.
Peter, what do you think of this bronze statue?
Oh, get out of here.
No, seriously.
Oh, that's great.
Yup, that's a 600-pound lump of pure uselessness in the sea. Peter could kiss his marriage goodbye at this point, or even his entire life. But luckily, he gets saved by a mysterious savior.
Ensign Glenn Quagmire, welcome aboard.
Who else but Quagmire? It's not just him, though. After Peter gets off the ship on land, he gets a ride from another familiar person who will be his neighbor for a couple of years later.
So where is it that you need to go?
Rhode Island. That's not too far, is it?
Nothing's too far away from Maxine, the cheating queen.
And yep, that was Cleveland. So even in the past, before they officially became neighbors, Peter's loyal friends were already giving him great treatment. Now back to the present, let's look at some more moments where Cleveland and Quagmire have been generally good neighbors to Peter. Let's talk about Chris for a sec, right? Poor kid's always been fat, but on a particular day, Chris gets a horrible case of body dysmorphia after everyone keeps mocking him for his weight. Naturally, this upsets Peter, so Cleveland gives him some kind advice.
My brother Broderick's a cosmetic surgeon.
Is he good?
Well, they used to be twice as big before Broderick got through with her.
Although the surgery doesn't quite work for Chris, Cleveland still gets a point for being a thoughtful neighbor and trying to help out his friend. But recommending a family surgeon is still easy work compared to what Cleveland does for the gang. One day, all the homies get hit right in the feels while watching a Korean drama. Why are these guys even watching K-dramas? Well, because for some reason, Quagmire acted in this one.
Oh my God! Quagmire, give me the last tape.
Sorry, guys, there are no more tapes.
What? Quagmire, tell us what happened.
Unfortunately, Quagmire has long forgotten what happened after this moment since he filmed the episode quite a while ago. For some reason, his K-drama crazed friends decided that they're going to get over this cliffhanger no matter the cost.
That episode's not online anywhere. Quagmire, we need that episode.
Guys, I'm sorry, but it was years ago.
So, we go to Korea.
Come on, guys, it's just a dumb, forgotten TV show.
Despite his hesitation, Quagmire agrees to take everyone, including Peter, to Korea just so they can complete their show, which earns him another point.
Why?
I see that the boys haven't yet learned, not all stories get a happy ending. But hey, at least Quagmire's nice enough to give Chris some pocket money by hiring him as his assistant.
Okay, Chris, I think you're gonna be a great assistant. Do you own a pair of rubber boots that you'd have to wear if you worked on a fishing boat?
No, I don't think so.
All right, I guess it'll be a light day today, but tomorrow you should come wearing those.
So far, so good. We've been seeing a surprising amount of good behavior from Peter's dysfunctional friend group so far, so I think it's time to see some of their dumb mistakes. How about you? Take Quagmire, for instance, who absolutely adores leering at his best friend's wife.
Would you just sit down and go to the bathroom already?
He also enjoys making moves on her anytime he finds himself alone with a woman.
Don't worry, Lois. I'd do everything to you.
Since peeping and flirting aren't out of the question for Quagmire, neither is sneaking a dirty photo.
Hey, before you two leave, let's take a photo. Perfect.
Now that was repulsive behavior, yes, but Peter completely fails to notice it. What he actually notices is a completely harmless moment between Lois and Quagmire during a backyard barbecue on his lawn.
Hey, Lois, I brought the hamburger buns like you wanted.
What does he mean by that? Seeds. Get the hell away from my wife, you scumbag!
Alright, things are heating up, but why is Peter even so mad to begin with? He didn't actually get one of Quagmire's candid photos, right? What's the big deal?
I want Lois. She's perfect. I've loved her for years. Peter, that was a private conversation.
That doesn't change the fact that you want to steal my wife.
Oh, he sent him a recording confessing his feelings for his wife. Okay, I'm speechless. Needless to say, endangering your best friend's marriage isn't the best neighborly behavior.
But if Quagmire actually has feelings for you, I'm afraid he might take you away from me.
In the face of Peter's completely valid concerns, even Quagmire admits that he's a complete scumbag for setting his sights on Lois.
Everyone knows I'm in love with my best friend's wife. It's pathetic.
In the end, though, Lois gathers Peter and Quagmire together, and she explains to both men that it's completely normal to have intrusive thoughts, but a good adult should keep those thoughts to themselves for the sake of their friendship. And, well, this is what Quagmire has to say after hearing Lois's advice.
If you're willing to forget all about this, I'm more than happy to continue hiding my true feelings.
Well, that's nice. At least Quagmire will pretend to be a decent person on the surface. You know, it's kind of strange that Quagmire isn't even the only neighbor who hits on Peter's wife. It's normal to expect nothing good to come from a natural pervert like Quagmire, but what's truly surprising is that even Joe forgets his moral code when presented with Lois working in her backyard. And if you think just a few peeks here and there don't matter, yes, they do. Peter thinks so, too.
What, can you blame me? After the show you two were putting on out there?
So what if I was putting on a show? At least someone was in the audience. And maybe ask yourself why I'd even feel I have to do that.
To all cheaters, that excuse is not nearly as solid as you guys think it is. But hey, this video isn't about Lois's morals as a wife, or else we'd be here forever. Anyway, even if these guys are willing to save Peter's life, they're not as willing to respect his marriage, oddly enough. Worse yet, we get to see another side of Quagmire's ugly behavior when Peter makes a mistake during a hunting trip.
Hey, Peter, you got your safety on, right?
Yeah, of course.
Because your gun is pointing right at me.
See, Quagmire? Safety's on.
Oh! Damn it, Peter, you son of a...
Yeah, I don't blame Quagmire for getting angry here, but Peter is kind of a klutz. Actually, he might just be the dumbest person in the world, so he could use some slack, I guess. But of course, Quagmire isn't willing to let him go so easily, so when Peter tries to make things right...
I need you to shoot me in the arm so we can be friends again.
Okay.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! I was supposed to offer, and then you were supposed to say, no, Peter, I'm not going to shoot you.
What do you think happens next? Do you think Peter simply rolls over and lets Quagmire get his revenge, or does Quagmire successfully overpower him and exact his vengeance against Peter's will?
Try to do the
I'm
decent
putting that
thing
bullet in your
like
arm,
you see in a
Peter.
movie. Ah, son of a...
It's over. We're all friends again. I'm just trying to settle this nonsense.
Somehow I'm agreeing with the gun-wielding raging maniac. I really don't know what Joe was trying to achieve with that, and since his reconciliation tactic failed, Quagmire just goes for his previous attempt again.
All right, we're good.
Okay, that's too many ugly moments in a row, I got it. Let's give these two a chance to redeem themselves after their serious crimes. Now, I know you think the Quagmire can only look at Lois in a non-family friendly way, but there are times when he genuinely helps her out without any ulterior motives.
Thank you so much for helping me tear up my carpet.
So when you called me, I sort of misunderstood what you were asking for. That's why I rushed over, but it's fine, whatever. I'm happy to help.
Okay, well, he had some ulterior motives at the start, but he carried out the job after learning it wasn't what he went there for anyway. And let's not forget about Joe either. So after Peter's brand new restaurant starts off with a big fat flop, Joe decides to support his friend's business by inviting a bunch of his friends to dine there.
Here comes Joe and his cop buddies.
You got tables for 30?
Whoa.
For some reason, ableism, Peter doesn't feel as happy as he should be to get so many customers.
Isn't this wonderful? The place is packed.
I wanted a cool restaurant, not the cafeteria at the Veterans Hospital.
Yikes, Peter, ungrateful much? Starting to feel like he doesn't even deserve any of the nice things his friends do bother doing for him. In fact, Peter doesn't just stop at being upset. Nope, he decides that it's better to flush all of his money down the drain and lose perhaps the only people who'd ever consider visiting his restaurant.
Peter, what the hell is that all about?
It's a message, Joe. You're ruining what was supposed to be a cool establishment.
Are you telling me that you have a problem with me being handicapped?
As a matter of fact, Joe, yes, I think it's immoral.
Yeah, so he doesn't even bother hiding it. I feel bad for Joe since he doesn't deserve all this hate, but I don't need to do that because good old Joe doesn't take flack lying down.
Form up Crippletron!
It looks like Peter's previous words offended a lot of people because they are not willing to let him go so easily. Yikes, that's definitely not the right way to handle an offensive comment. Could have just left Peter's place, but no, Joe and the gang think his crimes are too severe to be forgiven. Luckily for Peter, an infantile menace gets him out of this wheelie situation.
Somebody help me! Help me!
No, Peter.
Yeah, that's the entire restaurant trashed. Way to go, Joe. From supporting his business to destroying it with your own hands. Can't say Peter didn't deserve it, so fair play. Anyway, Joe can be a pretty nice guy when he's actually treated with respect, like the time when Lois and the kids are saving up money to pay for a young iron lung patient's full treatment, and some heartless jerk decides to nab it.
We've reached our goal. Oh my God, that man just took our money.
Good job, Joe. Saving lives out here. Although the thief gets away, Lois and the others thank Joe for his help since he got the important stuff back, the money. Unfortunately, Joe gets pretty upset about letting the perp get away.
I lost the perk.
In fact, he gets so upset about this loss that he ultimately quits his job. Thankfully, Peter comes through during this tough time and gives Joe the support he needs, so when he later spots the same thief in a different spot, Joe gets the motivation he needs to be a hero again.
Hold it, Peter. That's the car wash thief!
Let's go, Joe. You got this.
Tough luck, Wheelie.
Yeah, for you. I'm Joe, your waiter.
And after finishing that vermin off, Joe thanks Peter for supporting him during his difficult times.
I really appreciate what you did for me.
What do you mean?
You who got me to believe in myself again.
Another +1 to Joe for always being a solid, reliable neighbor. Now let's take a quick look at the scoreboard. Right now, Joe is taking a commanding lead with 6 points thanks to his heroics. Quagmire is not too far behind, sitting at 3 points after losing a few to his usual habits, and Cleveland's chilling at the back with a quiet 2 points. But don't count them all out just yet. I think it's time I gave Peter's other 2 neighbors a chance to score some points of their own. Now, I'm going to share a rather funny moment with you guys. If you're anywhere near familiar with Family Guy, you know about Quagmire's absolute hatred for Brian Griffin. But surprisingly, when Brian messes up his face in a car accident...
Oh, man, I'm real sorry about your mouth, Brian.
Quagmire actually comes through for him.
Look, listen, just take this. That's my dentist. He'll bill me. I've got an account.
You saw that right. Quagmire's being kind to Brian. Of course, the desperate dog takes him up on the offer and gets a good surgery done to fix his chopped jawline, which gets everybody's attention.
So, be honest.
Brian, are you kidding? You look like a movie star.
Really?
In fact, the smile looks so good that Brian later starts working in real estate and actually tries to scam Quagmire into buying a crappy building. Way to bite the hand that feeds you. But anyway, Quagmire still gets some points for helping him out of a tough spot. And it's not just Quagmire who's helped Brian out. Remember New Brian before he mysteriously vanished?
Well, I wasn't sure about this new dog thing at first, but I gotta tell you, he's a really terrific guy.
You have no idea what's going on here. He's your replacement.
Oh, come on, that's ridiculous.
Although Brian refuses to believe he'd get tossed out so easily, he soon learns that the Griffins aren't exactly thrilled to have him around every day.
Everybody, tonight I've got a real treat for you.
We've all seen your compilation video, Brian.
So after this harsh realization, Brian decides it's best to just leave the house with the little dignity he has left.
Well, I feel like I've sort of run my course here.
Brian, you live here. This is your home.
But right before he leaves, Lois asks Brian a very important question.
Well, where will you go?
I'll let you know where he'll take his sorry belongings, or rather show you.
I appreciate you letting me stay with you, but I'm perfectly capable of going to the bathroom by myself.
Yep, to good old Cleveland's house. Honestly, he's a real one for giving Brian a place to stay instead of letting him be homeless. Poor Mutt's a house pup. He don't got what it takes to survive them streets. And he doesn't just give out physical places to stay. After getting a job as a therapist, Cleveland also offers Lois a safe space to vent all of her marriage issues to repair her relationship with Peter.
I think we got to the root of the problem.
All right, let's dope her up good. Turn that mouth off.
The problem is you.
What?
Although Peter's ego gets hurt by his friend taking his wife's side, Cleveland objectively gives Lois the right advice to steer their marriage toward a healthier place, so he gets more points as a helpful neighbor. If you're thinking that Cleveland was just being on Lois' side for the sake of being politically correct, no, he was not. In the episode He's Black, when Lois and Donna get into a fight and ban their husbands from meeting each other, Cleveland stands up for his friendship with Peter.
Cleveland, what do you think you're doing?
Peter's right. This whole fight is ridiculous.
Alright, Cleveland's got a fair share of his spotlight too. Now let's look at Quagmire's relationships with one of Peter's family members, Meg. Given his nature, you might expect him to do something unsavory, but no. Before we get to Quagmire's assistance though, let's look at the kind of trouble Meg gets herself into.
Sure, sounds great.
Well, you already know where this is going. That guy's probably going to compress Meg's entire skeleton into a cube.
What's your name, dude?
Meg Griffin!
Friday. I will destroy you.
Okay, he's still going to do that, just at a later time, so Meg is officially screwed. I think the bully didn't even realize that she's a girl. Maybe he would have gone easier on her if he did. Or not. It's not like he's some kind of honorable warrior. Anyway, in the depths of her despair, Meg sees the most unexpected ray of hope ever.
And that's why I'm gonna help you, Meg. I never faced my bully.
But how?
So after Meg takes up Quagmire's suspiciously generous offer, she finally ends up in the ring with her bully, hopefully with a few new tricks to help her survive the encounter.
Meg, remember what I taught you. Use the gross.
And use it fast, because you don't got much time left.
It's time to end this thing.
Yeah, it is.
Ew! Good job for Quagmire, protecting Meg from a bully and traumatizing literally everyone else. So anyway, Quagmire can be genuinely kind with no strings attached. I'm finding it just as hard to believe as you are, but he's got so much more to show. In Lottery Fever, Peter literally gets a mortgage on his house just to blow it all on thousands of lottery tickets.
I had to be sure.
Oh my God! We won!
Let me see that. Yes, we won the lottery! I'm getting a butler.
Wow, that was a good call. Or just a really lucky break. Unfortunately, instead of investing a chunk of that money into something smart, Peter focuses his attentions on something else.
From now on, we're all gonna do whatever I want to do.
Okay, I guess that's fair.
Because what I want to do is stay here, get drunk, and watch TV.
Ah yes, real smart, Peter. Way to lose both your friends and the money. Sure enough, both Quagmire and Joe get tired of Peter's unreasonable demands.
You know, Peter, you used to be a great guy, but ever since you won that lottery... Joe! This guy!
So when Peter finally runs out of all the lottery money he had, well, it's time for the streets. Because the house is also on a mortgage.
Well, what are we supposed to do, Lois? Everything we had is gone.
We have friends, Peter.
Not anymore, we don't.
And just like that, Peter's got to go groveling back to his friends' feet just to get their favor.
I thought being rich would solve all my problems, but all it did was make me forget what was important. Like who my real friends are.
Luckily for Peter, Quagmire and Joe are actually kind enough to forgive what he did to them, even though they suffered serious injuries.
Peter, wait. I'd rather just come see you at home.
What? Where'd you get this kind of money?
I guess it's only fair that I give you my percentage so you can get your house back.
1 point to Quagmire and Joe for forgiving Peter. 2 additional points to Quagmire for giving Peter some money to support his family. Hey, so Peter did get some return on that lottery after all. This isn't the only time Quagmire gets Peter out of a tough spot, though. One day, for some reason, Peter gets inspired by some redneck show to steal all the jet fuel from Quagmire's plane to fill up his pickup truck. Yep.
Did we finish fueling? Well, then I guess we're finished.
And since the fueling crew was about as competent at checking everything as the UN is at achieving world peace, Captain Quagmire begins his flight as usual.
What the hell?
Although Quagmire eventually pulls off a safe emergency landing, saving the lives of all passengers on board, the damage is already done. For some reason, Quagmire gets blamed for the plane running on an empty tank, and so he gets fired. Naturally, when Peter learns about this, he feels guilty about ruining his friend's job.
You and I need to talk about Quagmire. He's been living with us for over a month.
Lois, I'm the whole reason he lost his job and his house.
So what solution does Peter propose to save Quagmire from this pickle pinch? Fake crashing another plane with Quagmire on board as a random passenger, knock out the actual flight captain so he can swoop in, save the day, and get his job back as a reward. That sounds pretty good in theory, but no, wait, it sounds even more ridiculous than it actually is, but the gang actually goes through with the dumb plan anyway.
If only there was someone on board who could save us.
Yeah, if only there was someone like that, because I don't know how to say this, but Quagmire isn't here. He's off, well... Come on, dude. There's hundreds of lives at stake. Surely you can keep it in your pants for, 20 minutes or so? And now's about the time Peter and the gang realize they might just be a little cooked.
I can't believe this is happening!
Men, we're doing everything in our power to get you down.
I'll take it from here.
Whoa, here to take responsibility for the first time ever in his life?
Now I want you to listen very carefully and do exactly as I tell you. Now, do you see a button that looks like a drunken gay guy?
Yeah, I see it.
Now I trust Quagmire to give the right directions, but it's Peter we're talking about.
All right, Peter, slide the red knob all the way out.
All that's left is the final crash landing. Can Peter make it? Yeah, he sure does. And Quagmire gains a big 3 whopping points to recover the point he lost through sheer irresponsibility. Seriously, he's got an insane amount of saves in the series. Before we move any further, it's time for a mid-game scoreboard update. What's this? Joe actually fell off to 7 points? He's lost the rank into Quagmire. And wow, he has absolutely skyrocketed into first place with a massive 13 points after dropping big bucks on Peter and pulling off that crazy plane landing. Oh, and Cleveland's risen up to second place, tied right there with Joe at 7. It's Quagmire's game to lose now. He's got to be careful because it's time for Cleveland to do some heavy lifting for his friend as well. So in the episode Unzipped Code, Peter and the gang decide to do a fundraiser by selling some classic men's pictures to raise some money for Jerome's injury. Naturally, Cleveland takes part as well.
Cleveland, you're mostly out of shape. Those will be our focus here.
They really that strong looking?
It's like a lady bodybuilder's.
But when their men's magazine actually comes out, Cleveland finds out that there was a serious flaw in one of his poses.
All right, let's start at my navel and work down. Short, securely zipped, neatly pressed crease running down to...
Cleveland doesn't have to do much about it after all the picture's already out. Unfortunately, it doesn't just quietly blow over since Cleveland's boss discovers his, secret assets.
You wanted to see me, sir?
Do you have a problem with the carrying capacity of your standard issue?
No, sir.
Feel the need to carry around an extra sack?
And just like that, he's fired. Luckily for Cleveland, Peter's boss takes a real liking to him, so both friends start working together in the same company.
What's going on? All of our weekly shipments are late.
I think we can get back on track if we just optimize our loadouts.
After Cleveland gives Preston a new plan to organize their workflow, he grows even more pleased with his work.
Why haven't we been doing that all along? Cleveland, I'm hereby promoting you to Vice Executive Managing Director.
Wow. Thank you, sir.
You'd think that Cleveland stepping up would take some pressure off of Peter, but of course it does the opposite. Although Preston appreciates Cleveland's expertise, he also starts to realize just how hard Peter's been holding him back with his sub-10 IQ.
I need you to clear your things out of your office. Cleveland is going to need more room.
Now, despite being intellectually challenged, Peter still figures out that he's going to get replaced soon if he doesn't get into his boss's good books. And since that's too hard for him to figure out, he just tries to sabotage Cleveland to bring him down instead. Unfortunately, he just doesn't have the brain power to pull it off, so Peter gets exposed pretty quickly.
I was just informed that you tried to sabotage this operation by putting vermin in the beer tank. You are fired.
Just when it looks like it's the end of the road for Peter, Cleveland chimes in with an unexpected defense.
If you fire Peter Griffin, sir, you fire your customer. I'm officially tendering my resignation and recommending Peter Griffin as my replacement.
So despite Peter stabbing him in the back, Cleveland still tries to and successfully saves his friend's job. That's the most deserving 3 points I've ever seen anyone get here so far. The good news is that Cleveland also gets rehired at his previous job, so things go back to normal for both the guys. I'm sure you've noticed for these last couple of moments, we haven't really been seeing Joe, even though he got off to such a strong start. That's because he's been saving his big guns for last. In one of the show's funniest episodes, Peter and the gang get inspired pretty hard after watching the popular TV show Jackass.
Hello, my name's Johnny Knoxville, and I'm going to take a shotgun blast to the face.
It's not even an inaccuracy. It's a parody. That's basically what the real show is all about, and you know what Peter thinks about it.
You know what? We should try some of that stuff.
Peter's the kind of guy who, after reading "Warning, don't try this at home," simply tries it outside his house, and I'm talking quite literally here.
I'm Peter Griffin. My special power is being somehow memorable after a very short run on TV. Believe it or not.
Although it's smooth sailing at first, it doesn't take too long for things to go awry.
A way and a wing and a prayer. Believe it or not, it's just...
Nice job on that ramp, Joe.
Yeah, that looked cool and all, but guys, maybe you should be a bit more concerned for your friend who just fell down from 20 meters straight into a lake.
Ow! My back! I can't move!
Ah, geez, blind leading the blind. Don't worry, good old Joe's gonna save the day, everyone. Oh, well, yeah, there we go. Joe proving just why he's the differently abled Chad we love. The scores are looking pretty tight right about now. We're getting pretty close to reaching these guys' limits. All right, it's time for a little group effort. So in the episode Cabin Pressure, Peter drags all of his friends and their families to a vacation to Maine. Unfortunately, the trip doesn't go exactly as Peter plans it, with his Target Bear show being discontinued. And so Peter gets mad at everyone else for ruining his grand plan.
Can't believe I thought it'd be a good idea to bring you people on this trip. The only reason I still talk to any of you is because we live on the same street.
My guy, you might want to retract that.
Give me that thing. Oh, no.
Whoa.
Ah, son of a...
Oh, that just happened. After seeing his boss's shed getting turned into charcoal from his stupid actions, Peter finally sees the light.
If Preston finds out I torched his house, I'm screwed, you guys. But I'm sure it's nothing a resourceful group of best friends like us, right?
Yeah, I think you're gonna have to be resourceful enough on your own. You treated the other people like hot garbage earlier, and now you gotta clean up this burning mess you created.
We came back to help you, Peter. And it's not just us.
Did we time it right?
Aw, so everyone decides to forgive their favorite slow best friend and help him clean up before his boss actually arrives. Some of them even think that they went overboard by not considering Peter's feelings about the bear show.
Why would you help me now?
Lois says you called us your best friends.
And we should have made a better effort to get to your bear show.
Yeah, we left without any of our charges.
After setting all their group sentiment aside, everyone begins working together, and with less than success.
Well, that's Preston. Only true friends would come back to help the way you did, and that's all that matters.
Luckily for Peter, Preston realizes that he wanted that shed burned down anyway, so he lets him off the hook with a smile. Anyway, in the episode Passenger Fatty 7, Lois and the other wives enjoy their own time. So naturally, the husbands also band together to fly off somewhere nice.
Okay, nobody move!
Those guys in first class have guns!
Of course, these poor guys can't have a normal vacation, as Captain of the flight Quagmire tries his best to get outside contact, but...
They jammed the transmission. I'm gonna have to go to the backup communications. Hello? Can you hear me? We're being hijacked. Oh!
Well, that didn't work, and soon the hijackers start pressuring Quagmire to surrender control of the plane to them.
This is your last chance. Open the door, or your co-pilot gets it.
I'm landing at the closest airfield, which is less than an hour away.
Unfortunately for the passengers, Quagmire's sensible decision to keep the cockpit shut leaves them all vulnerable to the hijackers' threats, especially Peter, whose size and antics don't do him any favors when it comes to laying low.
Open the door, or this idiot gets it.
Don't open it, Quagmire. It's not worth it.
Okay.
That was quick.
Peter, you didn't seriously expect him to endanger the whole flight by handing over control to a bunch of volatile hijackers. I'm not going to deduct any points from Quagmire here, because he's just doing the right thing. Still, Cleveland and Joe think of a sneaky plan to save everyone's lives.
Oh man, we gotta help Peter.
You know, I have a gun in the bag I checked. If we can get to the galley.
Good idea, Joe.
After sneaking past the hijackers, both of them manage to get down to the plane storage level.
Hey, what are you two doing down here? Prepare to die.
That's what you think.
Wait, did Joe just do...
Peter, grab onto something.
Uh-oh, I grabbed
I gotta say, all three of them are holding up pretty well against these trained hitmen. Heck, Peter's 1v1 with the hijacker agent shows how capable he actually is.
Die in hell!
Hang on, Peter!
Holy crap, that was close.
You know what they say, make love, not war. But not in this town. Over here, we do things the old-fashioned manly way, and so with the hijacker crisis over, the gang starts returning to their seats.
You can all relax now, everybody.
Looks like you'll make that business meeting after all.
Great. Thanks for keeping us in the sky. Now reach for it.
These plot twists are crazier than an Indian soap opera, but the question is how they'll get rid of the last guy. I don't think this guy's gonna fall for any dumb trick either, so...
You ever been to Vegas before?
No.
I think you're gonna flip for it! Yeah!
Okay, that works. Flipping him around like some kind of human pretzel. That works very well. And with that, Quagmire has also earned a good chunk of points for saving everyone's lives, including, of course, his friend Peter. All right, it's time for the final stretch. Let's check out these scores one more time before we head on in. So at the moment, Quagmire is still holding on to the gold with an impressive 17 points, but Joe and Cleveland just closed the gap big time during that insane hijacker brawl. Now they're tied at 14 points each. Although Quagmire is still in the lead, it's only barely, as the gap has shrunken so much that it's anyone's game at this point. Now, for our next neighborly act of kindness, we're not going to talk about saving Peter's life as we usually have. No, this time, we're going to see how a good friend sticks up for their bro and saves them from a truly sticky, non-life-threatening situation. One day, or night, Peter's on community watch to keep his neighborhood safe when he finds a strange figure trying to break into Cleveland's house.
Step away from that table. Hold it right there.
After Peter realizes it was just Cleveland Jr. trying to break into his own house, he calms down. Unfortunately, Cleveland and Donna both get offended he targeted their son and decide that Peter's too racist to casually keep their kid around.
How do you think he's doing? You shot my son!
I thought someone was breaking into your house, and I panicked. I don't know why he didn't just say it was him.
I was listening to music, and the next thing I know, you shot me.
Why the hell were you climbing in the window of your own house anyway?
Good question. Anyone would get alarmed by an unknown shady being trying to enter someone's place at night. It's only proper etiquette.
I already have a bullet in my son.
You wouldn't have fired that gun if he was white.
So after that little falling out, Peter actually gets falsely accused of a hate crime, and he ends up in jail. For some reason, Peter's actually lucky enough to have Carter offer for his rescue, so he wonders what dream power he can solve abuse next.
I didn't shoot Cleveland Jr. because he was black.
Don't worry. We're gonna get you out of this.
Carter does here what we do best, shovel money at a problem until it's fixed. And so Peter ends up in court against the Clevelands with a billionaire-backed lawyer, the perfect setup.
Please pick up this knife. Ah! He's got a knife!
This isn't fair!
Even if they are Cleveland, it's not like you got a say in it. So after Cleveland Jr. gets framed as the guilty person, Peter gets out of jail scot-free. Of course, this means that Cleveland is still upset with him, and an entire host of reporters gather around his house to protest. In the end, it's Peter who turns to Cleveland and his son's aid.
He's a good kid from a good family. I did shoot him. I deserve to be held responsible for my actions. I just got scared and I did something stupid.
You do, but Cleveland has a heart of gold, so that won't be happening today. Instead of pushing for Peter to be punished despite all the continued wrongs done toward him and his family, Cleveland graciously forgives Peter and takes the fall for him.
Let's take him in.
Wait a minute. Peter didn't shoot my son. I did.
Wait, what? Where's he going with this stick?
What exactly are you saying?
I'm saying that I shot Cleveland Brown Jr.
That was certainly the most efficient way to resolve that. Cleveland is an absolute saint for not having earned a single negative point this far in the video. And now we're going to look at one of Joe Swanson's most helpful, but also quite humiliating moments that he is now iconic for. In the episode Cool Hand Peter, the boys go out on a normal road trip to another country. Everything goes as planned until they receive a minor roadblock.
I'm an officer of the law, and I can't help noticing you got a headlight out.
I don't see any.
Get 'em, boys! Get out there and show this man a response. Well, I guess you can't, but hey, it's the thought that counts.
I'm a police officer, too. I know all the games. I use them myself.
So you're a cop, huh? Let me see your badge. Looks like you're a civilian now.
Anyway, you guys get the idea. This random officer frames the gang for carrying drugs and arrests them. Then he brings them all to some secluded government work camp.
This ain't break time. Get back to work.
Now, naturally, working like a bunch of laborers was not on the boys' vacation list. Still, they accept their fate and continue toiling, hoping to see a quick release by the end of the month. When it's finally time for the gang's shift to be over, the warden pays them a personal visit.
Hey, Warden, since it's our last night in here, can I have a glass of milk?
Last night? Where do you think y'all are going? You got another 30 days on your sentence.
What?
And that was actually the least surprising part about this whole ordeal. Turns out the work camp is a one-way entry where prisoners are forced to slave away for the rest of their lives with no possible outside intervention. Alright, now, at this point, Joe decides that desperate times call for desperate measures.
We're gonna break out of here. We gotta get past these guards.
Well, I got an idea.
Joe, I don't think anyone was rushing to help you there, but sure, knock yourself out.
What are you doing, Joe? You're embarrassing us.
Are they looking?
No.
Exactly. No one wants to watch a handicap struggle for independence.
Yo, 300 IQ move from Joe there. Not only does he have the physical strength and overall guts to be a hero, he's got a sharp mind to pull his pals out of dangerous mouths too. Anyway, Joe continues his pathetic act to make the guards even more uncomfortable.
Why the hell can't I walk?
No, don't look. Hey, they're getting away!
Sherlock Holmes here finally finds out. Well, it's too late to do anything since the boys have already made a huge lead. In just a few minutes, they escape the surroundings of the camp and find an abandoned military house.
Hey, these look like handcuff and shackle keys.
Hey, it worked!
Alright, now they're all free of the camp's bindings. Now they just need to quietly leave the creepy mansion without triggering anything.
You do that for me?
I'd do anything for you. Now come out here and give me a kiss.
Peter, no!
Wait a minute! I don't have a wife!
After escaping the sheriff's line of fire, the boys find one ray of hope. A rather heavy one, if you will. Finally. You'd think they'd be able to return home and peacefully tell their wives what happened, but no. The stubborn sheriff proves to be a difficult customer once again.
You boys are fugitives of my county, and I'm gonna take you back.
Oh, this guy just refuses to give up. Thankfully, we got a police savior of our own this time.
I don't think so. You're in my jurisdiction now.
Wow, Joe, how'd you pull that off?
I put in a call from the McDaniels payphone while you guys were getting that 9-piece chicken.
But who wouldn't know that deep down, Joe the brave hero would be battling some severe demons? Because when the gang goes out for a nice trip to Niagara Falls, we see some of Joe's real thoughts.
That's the most magnificent place in the world. Goodbye, fellas.
Yep, that just happened. Being permanently crippled is certainly no joke, and with all the bullying Joe faces from his friends, all the abuse he gets from his toxic partner, it's no wonder all of that pushed him to the edge. But come on, guys. Joe has risked his own life to save yours. You gotta help him.
Oh my God, Joe killed himself!
It makes no sense!
Damn it!
Joe? Joe, you're alive!
Just let me die!
Oh no, can't do that, Joe.
Frick yeah, that's the good stuff. Soon Peter and the gang bring over a crane to safely yank Joe back to safety.
Why would you try to kill yourself?
What do you think? I'm worthless.
Yikes, I can't even blame the other guys. Perhaps Joe's manic episodes looked like periods of joy to his friends, but since it's not too late, the gang tries to convince Joe that he's still got a few reasons to keep on living.
Plenty of reasons to live. Like you're handsome.
Well, he's got a good chin. I don't know about handsome.
But I will say this, he keeps a good lawn.
Yes.
Wait, where's Joe?
Joe, wait!
So after that fiasco, it's clear that Joe can't be trusted to be on his own. The gang brings him over to a hotel where they can rest and make plans on how to actually enjoy their Niagara Falls trip. After some planning, they all board a cable car to enjoy the beautiful aerial view of the waterfall.
One heck of a fun day.
Yeah, this place is actually making me feel much better. You mind opening that door?
Sure.
Peter, no!
Okay, this is getting pretty serious again.
I'm losing my grip!
All that previous talk about ending his life, but when he sees his precious friends in danger, Joe's heroic spirit blazes back to life once again.
Don't worry, I'm coming!
And will he make it in time? Or will Joe lose the only people who wish to see him around just a little longer? Golly, goober, does Joe run that thing fast? We really need to measure his upper body strength. Stuff must be off the charts.
Guys, grab onto my legs!
Got it!
This It's actually the first time I've ever touched Joe.
I mean, first time for everything, right?
I thought I was dead. I even pictured my own funeral. See, Joe? You're a hero, too.
Thanks, Peter. I'm lucky to have you guys in my life.
And with that happiest ending, I couldn't find a better note to end the entries for this competition. So, with 17 points, we've got Cleveland Brown and Joe Swanson tied at the second spot. Wow, these guys really fought to grab this spot. And of course, naturally, that leaves us with the winner as Quagmire with 20 points. What? How is the most perverted character in the show, perhaps one of the most perverted characters of all time, be also the best neighbor? And he's made moves on Lois so many times as well. Even so, Quagmire recognizes and admits his own shortcomings these days, and I guess he has saved Peter's and everyone else's lives way too many times to count. When we began, I was really thinking that Joe would win this with ease. Quagmire really proved me wrong. As always, guys, thank you all very much for watching.